Wow, it's almost embarrassing to be introduced at ICI events. I've come so many times. You know, not in Kuwait, but ICI, you know, na, what it stands for. Huh? If Chethan always invite. And CA stands for Chethan to aayega. So you have no choice, guys. I'm here. Thank you for having me once again. Keep opening chapters, keep calling me. You guys are reproducing not reproducing is the wrong word. Growing. But feels like reproduction. Because the first ICI event I did, I think it was 2010. Anybody remember those? Wow, you're really old, huh? Okay. Like me. And it used to be much smaller, right? And now more and more and more and more and more. How many chartered accountants do you need? I thought it's zero tax. Still now, but good. May your tribe grow. How many of you passed the chartered accountancy exam in the first attempt? Look at this, sir. Okay, so it's always fun to do this. Okay, you have to be honest, people. And if you are still not passed, admit it. Okay. Yeah, just somehow, chalo. Okay, how many in the second attempt? Okay, 3 plus, 3 or more. 3. Okay, 3. Exact. 4 wale bhi hain. See, the more behind you see, na. See, the last rows are the ones. The last row, they are happy. 5 plus? Come on, 5 plus 5. Okay. Honest, yeah, it's okay. My own CA is 22 plus. In India, he's 22 plus. But he's still it's pretty good. Come again. Okay, that can mean a lot of things. But, okay. 7 plus? There are. Wow, look at this. 10 or more. There has to be at least 1 10 or more. Yeah, okay, good. Wow, so congrats for making it here. And finally, so it's quite and I didn't pass. But I am giving a talk. This is what happens in life. Life is very unfair, right? And I've been very fortunate to be even called at the ICI, the main ICI events in India. And because I've come so many times, and I discussed with the management here, and they said, let's do something different. So I did something for them, which was on Ethics Day. You heard of this? Ethics Day. So it's tough to do a talk on ethics and make it interesting, because ethics presentation sounds like, let's go to sleep. Right? And they said, but you don't want to do Ethics Day. And now here also I said, which one do you want to do? I gave them so many choices. We want to do ethics? Like, dude, now you're going to kill me. Okay? But I'm going to try. I think it's going to work here. Okay. So, firstly, it's not very difficult. Hindi, how many people know Hindi? Okay. Most people. But we have some foreign dignitaries also. So, it's mostly going to be English. In Hindi, lying is called jhoot bolna. Is lying bad? No. My God. How do I do an ethics presentation here? This is a tough crowd, man. Okay. Now I have to convince you that, is lying bad? Generally. Yes. It is bad. There's no trick question, yaar. I'm just asking you. Yes. You are ready, man. Okay. Okay. Bad? Bad or good? Okay, tell me what you feel. What do you feel? Don't just say like this. As if your wife asks you, am I looking fat? Is lying bad? Is your wife ever looking fat? No. So is lying bad? So then it comes, see that's where the problem comes. That's where the problem comes with ethics. Is stealing bad? Okay, now stealing is bad, lying is okay for this crowd. One man, his children, he has no food. His children has not eaten for 3 days. He goes to a banana shop and he steals 4 bananas for his children to feed him because the child is starving. Now is stealing bad? Mixed, right? Hard to say. Hard to say, right? And that's what I think any ethics thing is. It's very easy for me to come and tell you what perfect ethics are. But honestly, life is not perfect. Human beings are not perfect. Your wife is not perfect, but she is perfect. You have to tell her that. And stealing may be good or bad depending on the context, right? So, in this kind of a world, how do you navigate? How do you live a life which is broadly ethical, broadly like in the zone? So today, I'm going to be absolutely honest with you and talk to you about my journey, but not in terms of my career achievements. Wherever I have gone, whichever field I have gone there has been, in Hindi we call it jhol. What do you call it in English? Some scandal, some swindling, some lying business going on in every industry. There is nothing that is spared, And that is what has been very interesting for me. Of course, first I was in banking, investment banking, where you know what happens with clients. Aim of investment banking is to put the client's money in your pocket and then see if the client can be helped. Okay. Do ever people look up, doctors are respected in society, teachers are respected, army people are respected. What about investment bankers? Have you ever seen? Why? Right or wrong? Right? I'm not saying everybody's, but there is that sense. You have classified information, the client wants to hear something, you say something else, you value the IPO at something. There's so many different ways. So anyway, that was my earlier years. Can we get to the presentation? Okay, so it's called challenges of being upright. It is very difficult to be upright in this world. It is impossible. None of you are going to be ethical. Okay, it's not going to be possible. I'm telling you at the beginning of the ethics presentation. It is always going to be gray. Life is gray. Okay? What shade of gray you are okay with, that is the essence of ethics. There is nobody here who is going to live that perfect life. And that's why it's challenging to be upright. So these are my books. Again, I could say that these are my books. I'll give you one example of the scam that happens in the books industry. There are bestseller lists. If you go to any bookshop, there's a bestseller list. So when I started writing, I would go there and I would get the data of sales. But many times in the shops, they would not put my book on the bestseller list. And I was like, why? Why aren't you putting the books on the bestseller list? He said, your book sells anyway. People know your name. But these books are not moving. I have this stock of books which is not moving. If I put it on the bestseller list, some people come and pick it up. Chalo, it's in the bestseller list. Unethical? Yes. Is it a crime? Can you put him in jail? You can't put him in jail for putting some random book at number 5. It's not, there's no section of the law that I can invoke there. Ethically, should a bookseller be doing it? No. But does he do it? Yes. What does it do? It damages the books industry long term. You know why? Because people anyway don't read that much. They prefer to watch phones and everything these days. Somehow they get in the mood, let me go buy a book. Let me go to a bookshop. Okay, let me buy a bestseller. Because this is what people are enjoying. He or she picks up the book, goes home. It was not a bestseller. It was an inventory moving exercise. Right? And he says, this is so boring. Now, if bestseller is so boring, imagine how the other books are. I am never reading books again. And you've lost somebody for life. Now, who's going to tell the bookseller this? But this is what happens in this industry. The so-called books, pure industry where people are writing ideas and creating knowledge and all this nonsense. That's what happens. There's all kind of other jhol or scams happening, such as critics can be manipulated. All kind of things are happening. Fine. Let's go next. These are the movies I have been a part of. Like I said, normally I would tell you about the movies, but let me tell you about the jhols in this business. This is the industry of jhol, the movie business. In the front, it's amazing. They will somehow show you an amazing story, beautiful story, but behind the scenes, there is full jhol happening. Everybody is trying to steal credit. I've been in a very famous, those old enough here, remember the Three Idiots controversy? That was the first movie deal, the first deal I'd done. I was unknown writer at that time. And I signed the deal. I did my best, but I was powerless, It's like, if you have no power, what negotiation do you have? So I signed the deal. The paper said that they have to put properly based on the novel by 5 point someone. It was based on my book. I have the legal documents. I got a little bit of, they paid me 1 lakh, by the way. The movie made 500 crores. That's fine. I did, that's okay. I was unknown. The movie added a lot of value to my life. Everything is not about the check I got that day. But what was extremely important was my name should come properly. They signed. It is in the contract that we will give the name based on the novel 5.7 by Chethan Bhagat. They gave the name. You know where they gave the name? Right at the end, next to the hairdresser. And you know where? In the end, they are showing the scenes of Ladakh, all the snowy mountains in the movie. So it's white. And my name is in white. I mean, today it's funny, but it wasn't funny that time for me. And what do I go? Do I go to court and say, well, why is my name next to the hairdresser? Why? But it backfired on them because I wrote about it, because I'm a writer. They forgot. And I wrote about it, that this is what is done. And this story was more interesting than if they had just given my name in the beginning of the movie properly. And then the whole movie became mine, because that's all people talked about. Sometimes unethical behavior backfires on you, but I'm just giving you one example. Meanwhile, so many other things happen. Big superstars see a script. They want to do it, but they're not sure. Maybe they'll get something better in the next 3 months. They say yes. I won't take names, but big stars. 2 states, for example, finally we had to make with. They did well, but that time Arjun and Alia were nobody. They were like newcomers. But before that, for 2 years, big stars said yes to 2 states, said we are signing the deal, but kept waiting because something better will come. So we cannot go to anyone else because this big star said yes. And finally, they say yes to 6 people and choose what they want to choose. And the other 5, go figure out. Most of those projects get shelved. We were lucky we made it with beginners and made it work. But that's the reality of this business. This beautiful make-believe world business also has all kinds of shady things. I can go all night about Bollywood unethical stories. This is newspaper columns. Let me not even get started on media and ethics. It is easy to manipulate. It is easy. Fake news is not something which is, you've all heard the term fake news. And sometimes you can make a mistake and give the fake news by mistake. But sometimes they know it's fake. But they put all kinds of fake news, all kinds of fake stories. And that's this business, right? I've also done these horror shows. For those not from India, these are Indian news debates, where nobody is allowed to talk. And I'll tell you the beauty of it. They always discuss one national problem. But I can tell you, thousands of shows have happened. In no show the solution has come. Not one show has ended saying, okay, good discussion, we should do A, B, C, this is the action plan. Never. It's just a dogfight done to provoke, to create all kinds of rifts, all kinds of problems. What to do? Wherever I go, there is unethical behavior. It's not illegal. It's not illegal to, insult someone. I mean, you can't say you insulted me, you hurt my feelings, you called me an idiot. I mean, you can't. But it takes away the quality of the debate. And it happens every night. And that is our news, sadly. I have a Guinness Book of World Records if there was a category like this. But there isn't. I tried. I'm the only English language author who has judged a Hindi dance show. Why have I done this? I don't know. India is an interesting country. Anything can happen there. So I've judged this dance show. And in this dance show also, my job was to judge who danced the best. But sometimes from behind, the producer of the show will send a slip of paper. Don't eliminate this contestant. She is from Maharashtra. Lot of our viewers are from Maharashtra. We are getting viewership there. If she goes, that viewership will go away. We don't care how she dances, keep her. Then what am I doing as a judge? Why do you need a judge? Decide based on your viewership. But no. I also learnt a lot in this show. The power of makeup. I don't know if makeup is ethical or not. Because kind of you're hiding something, but kind of also you're looking better. I look like my son. But let me tell you, the power of makeup is not just on me. I do a lot of talks, right? Another scam industry is the motivation speaker industry. I'm sorry, I have come as motivation speaker, but I am telling you, I've been on your side, right? I've been in a bank. I've worked in a bank for 11 years, and I've attended motivation talks. I was also the last row guy, waiting for lunch. What is this motivation business, man? It's full scam. But I decided that I won't do it unless it actually makes a difference. Unless I don't leave people with some thoughts, which ideally drive them to action. And honestly, I'm telling you, whatever I talk about today, if you don't take some action on it, then I will also become a piece of content. I will also become entertainment. Then you might as well watch animal movie. The same thing. But if you take some action, which I'll give you some simple things, then it's worth it. Then it's worth me coming to Kuwait and do what I do. And the idea is to work on people's minds. I've done so many of these, studied so much of neuroscience related to motivation, that there are ways to not make it a scam. There are ways to make it work. All of us deep down know that there are some things about our life we need to change. We know. The idea is that if someone comes and honestly addresses that and tells you, dude, you got to change now, then maybe that moment becomes the day you say, you know what, enough is enough. That enough is enough moment can be created by a speaker. That's all I claim to do. Other than that, like I said, I can't motivate, like go out there, sell more. I can't do all that. There are those kind of motivation speakers also. Social media, I'm on social media, all these various platforms, full unethical behavior. Every day. People lie, people gang up, people troll, people spread fake news, people do anything for likes and comments, right? If you want, there's a term in social media called engagement farming. Engagement means someone interacts with your post, likes it, hates it, says something good, says something bad, it doesn't matter. Engagement matters. You have to come and engage. If you engage, the post gets engagement, the social media company amplifies your post. It shows it to more people. The more it shows, the more it goes viral. You have to get that one thing, engagement. And it's called engagement farming. Literally, there are people whose only job is to create engagement farming. If I tell you something really good is happening in the world, okay, fine. How much engagement? Fine, move on, scroll. If I say something really terrible about somebody, about some community, about some people, something like that, which creates a fight. Is it good for society? No. But is it good for engagement? Hell yes. It is amazing for engagement. So what is happening on social media all day? Only terrible, horrible things. And we see, if you see social media, you feel the world is collapsing. It's melting down. Because that's the only thing that is getting engagement farming. That's the only crop that is giving the yield. Good things are happening. Some parents are going to a kid's school annual day today, and they are clapping for their child and coming home, and it's normal, good life. But it's never going to come on social media. What is going to come is somebody fighting with somebody said something insulting, somebody said something bad. But I'm in this world. If I want to be relevant, if I want to keep my brand relevant, I have to somehow get engagement. But how do I make it happen with just positivity when only negativity is getting? It's tough, right? It's tough. Deep down, I also know the tricks. I also know if I say this is going to catch fire. Should I do it or not? So these are other kind of ethical challenges that come. Everywhere, books, films, print, stage, whatever I do, the world is full of. So I'm sure in your profession also, there is scope for unethical behavior. There is profit in unethical behavior. Why do people do it? There's some profit there. Otherwise, why would you do it, right? So, YouTube channel I have, same. I won't repeat it, but it's the same kind of engagement farming that happens there as well. When it comes to ethics, it's important to understand these three concepts: ethics, morals, and laws. I think if we understand this, it helps. Laws are the easiest to explain, right? Laws we know. Laws are written down. It's rules in a society. If you steal, let's say you do a small stealing, you get 6 months jail. If you cross a red light, you get this fine. It's written down, it's absolute, it's fixed. And it governs society. It governs a country, it governs a state, it governs a society. It's the rules, it's rules, what people have to follow. And it also governs the behavior between strangers, right? Like, I don't know the robber, but if he came to my house and steals something, now what do? That book tells you that this is what you do. You punish him like this, you try the case, whatever. If he's proven, he goes to jail, this, that. If he jumps a red light, I don't know him, but he jumped the red light in my town, okay, he gets this fine. It helps, laws are needed to help govern society, especially because everybody doesn't know everybody, right? So between strangers, the rules are the same. That's laws. That's easy. Ethics is basically how certain groups are governed. Only certain groups. So a doctor should ideally, if you are sick, you go to a doctor, ideally, the doctors should give you medicine that make you okay the fastest, and then you're okay, and then you go home, right? That's a good behavior. But if the doctor says, you know what, I think you should do this surgery, and then do one more surgery, and then I give you this medicine that you must take every day for the rest of your life. Not because you need it, but because there is some profit there. Because they are getting some cut from somewhere, some hospital, or big pharma companies are saying, please give medicines which are for life. It is true. You know, if look at from a pure business point of view, don't look at the good behavior. There is no money to be made in making people okay with one pill. It's stupid. He's sick, one pill, he's okay now. Now what do? Wait for him to fall sick again. But the best business, take a pill every day for the rest of your life. Netflix model, subscription model. That's where the real money is for big pharma also. Just as ICI, I do pharma company conferences. I just did one in Goa. It was called the Diabetes Group, and they were celebrating. Diabetes went up 20% last year. Superb. I was like, dude. I was like, yeah, we met our targets. So many Indians are getting diabetes. Yes, our record revenue. I was like, okay, that's how they think about life. I don't know whether it's ethical behavior or is that's what they do. I mean, they are not looking at like, how can we make sure that people don't get diabetes only? No, we want them to get. Because otherwise what happens to our business, right? So that's where like medical ethics come in, for example. That is the ethical behavior in a particular group. And that's when, like I said, it could be linked to laws when it gets really bad, like when it gets really, really malpractice of medical malpractice, you can invoke the law. But a lot of times it's not. You go to a dentist and he knows he can fix you by doing a root canal and he says, I'm going to take out your tooth, I'm going to put implants, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do 3 x-rays, this like that. And you're like, I don't know if I really need it. Now, can you take him to jail for that? No. You cannot invoke the law there. It will come down to ethical practices, right? Same way for finance professionals, for chartered accountants, there will be certain ethical behavior norms which have to be there in the group, right? And that's what you need to understand, right? Sometimes it's called creative accounting, which is interesting. They have a very nice word they have come up with. It's called creative accounting. What does that mean? I thought accounting is about how things are. How can you be creative about it? So sometimes it may be okay to be a little creative, but how much is too much creative? How much is not being creative but being fictional? But you are not writing fiction. When I write a story, I say it's fiction. When you publish accounts, you don't say some of it are, any resemblance to living beings and real companies is purely coincidental. You don't do that. So that's ethics, Morals. What are morals? Sometimes this is the confusion. Morals are personal, individual at your level. So laws, all of society. Ethics, your group, professional. So if a real estate, like for example, real estate brokers, they can easily be unethical, right? They can say, oh, this will go up, they just buy now, all kind of things can happen. Oh, it's a great place, they know it's not a great place. There need to be some ethics for the real estate business, right? Morals are individual, and that's where my focus is. That's where I'm addressing you, that what is your morality? What do you think is okay for you? And you have to be absolutely honest about it. You cannot say things which people, when you at least talk to yourself, which people expect you to say. You don't want to just like say it because I want to come across as a very upright person. Everybody has different morality in this room. Everybody has a different way of looking at things. And I think that's where it comes down to it. Are you okay with that creative accounting? Are you okay with not telling the client something that you think you should have told him, but you feel like, okay, fine, otherwise I won't get the order maybe, I don't know. And that's, a lot of it is individual level. But how to judge that? How do you know how do you decide the line? Like I said, there is no absolute, right? Good, bad, there is nothing. How do you decide your gray? What is your gray color that you are comfortable with? Because nobody tells you, right? So, talked about laws. So the question comes, is it worth it? That's the way you judge it. The first thing you say is it worth it? Now, this is also really hard. Because how do you know it's worth it or not? Normally, there is profit in unethical or immoral behavior, right? Either you make money or you get pleasure if you are, say, cheating on someone, like adultery or something, or you are, having some substances which you shouldn't be having, whatever. There is some benefit that you are seeking there, right? Why are you doing it? Because there's something you are seeking by lying, by cheating, by things like that. Something is to be gained there. So how do you know is it worth it or not? What is on the other side? What is the cost? of getting that, immoral advantage or unethical advantage. When you sit with friends, normally you are sitting with friends, or when you may not discuss it openly, but we judge each other by our success, especially when you are young. By the time you get to my age, it becomes less important. So there are some advantages of getting old. You don't really care as much. But when you are young, like I see you guys, a lot of you are young, you judge. They are friends, but you're also judging. What car they have, where do they go on holiday, how much money they are making, things like that. We judge. Oh, he has 1 million. Oh, he has 2 million. I have only 500,000. Things like that. We judge net worth, we judge possessions, material things. That's easy to judge. It's measurable, right? He has 10 crores. He has 20 crores. I only have 5. Oh my God, I need more, right? I need more money. Simple. And that's how we often judge people. How successful they are is how rich they are, or how recognized they are, or how famous they are, or something like this. What's their status in society? How up the hierarchy are they? But we don't look at some other things which are also extremely important. For example, is there peaceful sleep? We never sit with friends and say, who's sleeping nicely? Who's having the best sleep? That's not something we even aspire to. No, he's richer, I'm not as rich. We never think, but I'm sleeping better. I'm not doing this. I could have made more money if I did this. I don't know if this behavior is okay sitting well with me. I will lose some sleep. Not worth it. So one of the tests is, if you do this, is it going to affect your peaceful sleep? How many of you here sleep properly at night? How many of you get good sleep? Guys, look around. Not even 50%. Can you believe it? This is the state of humanity. We have advanced so much. 2024, right? We have all kinds of AI coming in, and you can do online shopping, and I can order a pizza and it will be here in 11 minutes. But we are not getting good sleep. 30-40% people said they are getting good sleep. So before I proceed on this, guys, just a slight digression. Peaceful sleep is extremely important in life. Extremely. You cannot be happy. I don't care how much money you have, what title you hold, what projects you are working on, what holidays you are taking, what is the size of your house, how fast is your car. If you don't have good sleep, you are not living a good life. You just can't. That's just the way human body is. And some people say, "Arey, it's okay, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'll sleep next life. I mean, come on, it's time to hustle. 5 hours is okay with me. I can do it. I don't need it." Biologically, human body is a machine. Correct? You would agree? It's ultimately a machine only, right? There are some joints, there's some muscles, machine to move, machine to think, computer inside. You put the fuel, it runs, you can do certain tasks, mental, physical tasks. It's a machine. Now let's say you had a car, or you had a ship, and it needed maintenance. It needed servicing, it needed fixing, oil change, all these things. And you say, you know what? Doesn't need it. I'll keep driving it. Who cares the oil is down? I can push it. Who cares the ship is leaking? We can go. What will happen? It's going to break down. And it's not going to perform optimally. But we don't see ourselves that way. We don't realize we need the rest. We don't realize we need the peaceful rest. Right? If you don't sleep, you are not having mental recovery, you're not having emotional recovery, you're not having physical recovery. It will build up over time, and you will destroy yourself. You will die early, you will be unhappy. So if nothing else, please start sleeping properly. Okay? And unethical behavior, immoral behavior is not very good for sleep. That's also true. It may make you richer, it may give you more pleasure in the moment, at that moment, but ultimately it's not good for sleep, which is not good for happiness, not good for life. Now ask yourself, is it worth it? So it's called the peaceful sleep test. Like I said, it's all personal. Maybe you say, I can still sleep doing this, no issues, okay. The second test, long-term career. You may do some unethical behavior to get a promotion, to get a job, to get the project, to get the order. But if you get find out, how will it affect your long-term career? Then is it worth it? You made some money this year, but it has potential that if you did something that later on comes to bite you, it's going to affect your long-term career. Then is it worth it? I don't know. You may get closer in rich money to your friends or may become richer than your friends, but you are taking a long-term career risk. Worth it? Maybe not, right? The third test, Times of India headline test. Times of India is India's top newspaper, whatever newspaper, Kuwait Times, is there something like that? Whatever. If whatever you are doing was the headline in the newspaper tomorrow, will you be okay with it? Can you live with it? And if not, then ask yourself, is it worth it? Because we live in those times now. You don't have to be published in the newspaper. It's all email and social media and LinkedIn and everything is there, right? So there is the newspaper headline test for ethical behavior. And the last one is the child on your shoulder test. Whatever you're doing, if a child was watching it, will you be okay? Something about a child being there, we don't want to do unethical behavior in front of them. We don't want to do bad things in front of children. I don't know why. Children can't do anything to us. But we still have this instinct that this is not right for the child. So if the child is sitting on your shoulder, would you still do it? And if the answer is no, then probably you shouldn't be doing it. You know. So these are the ways. When you are faced, you will have situations in life where there will be a shortcut, where there will be profit. If you just bend the rules a little bit, there will be occasions all the time. But if you apply these tests, is it going to affect my sleep? Is it going to affect my long-term career? What if it came in the papers tomorrow? And what if a child was sitting on my head? Would I do it? And if the answer is not sitting well with you, then maybe don't do it. You know, like I said, easy to measure how much money, who has, all that. That's what society values. But I'm telling you, a good, peaceful life is highly, highly valuable. You know. I want to tell you leave you with some quotes I live by now. I turned 50 this year. So that's a lot of years. And I would like to keep it simple. Because if I give you long, long quotes, you will forget them. So I'll give you small. No more than 3 words in each quote. First thing you have to realize about life. Life is uphill. You know, life is difficult. Whether you are poor or rich, whether you are young or old, man or woman, life is fundamentally a difficult thing. It is uphill. Imagine it's like a beautiful green mountain. It's beautiful. It can be beautiful. But to enjoy it, you have to climb every day. You have to climb every day. And if you're okay with that, you will have a good life. But if you feel, like I used to feel, that life is uphill to a point and then you just chill and relax. That's the aim of life. When I was little, I didn't grow up with a lot of money. And my aim in life was to become rich. Because I thought you have to make money, become rich, and all rich people do is lie in bed and eat grapes all day. You know, on silk sheets. I think roll in bed, eat grapes. That's what I want to do. And then I got some money. And I tried eating the grapes. How much can you eat? 250 grams? 500 grams and you're sick of grapes. If you want to curse someone, if you want to make sure someone has a terrible life, tell them that you will lie down on silk sheets and eat grapes every day. That's all you will do. Because they will have depression, they will have mental health issues, they will start substance abuse, they will go find a way to die early, either through health problems or some other addiction or something like that. When we talk of chilling, relaxing, this, that, it's needed. We do need to lie down sometimes and eat grapes also. That's fine. But I'll tell you the secret of life. It is not just lifelong vacation. That is not the goal. The aim of life is stress recovery, stress recovery, stress recovery, endless cycle of stress and recovery. If you have only recovery, which means only relaxation, you'll have a terrible life. On the other hand, if you have only stress, never recovery, you will have a terrible life. Stress and recovery, stress and recovery. Even in the gym, you have to go to the gym and you have to also recover, which means come back and sleep properly, eat properly. If you go to the gym and do not sleep properly, you will have no gains. Nothing. There is no use. You are only fatiguing your body. You are only adding stress to your body. And if you only work and never relax, you are only hurting yourself. At the same time, if you only relax and do nothing else, so life is uphill. Climb a little bit every day, rest, climb again tomorrow, rest, climb again tomorrow, rest. You will progress also and you will be happy also. As simple as that. This message for you and for your children who only want to see Instagram all day. That's just recovery. And it's going to hurt them. But you know, it's a balance. And that's what makes it difficult. Second, do the work. You have to do the work in life. If you want something, if something worthwhile takes a lot of work. If it was easy, it won't be worthwhile. Because everybody will have it. There is no work required, much required in that. It depends on how difficult the achievement is. If you want a six-pack, you have to do the work for a six-pack. If you could just order a six-pack on Amazon, it won't be valuable. Nobody would care about it. Right? Similarly, anything worthwhile. If you want to become a CA, you have to clear the exam. If everybody could clear the exam, there would be no value in that title. Right? You have to do the work. If you want to write a book, you have to write the book. You can't just keep sitting and thinking about it. Whatever 2-3 dreams you have left in life that you have not achieved so far, if you want them, figure out a schedule, put it in your schedule and do the work. And it will happen. Otherwise, it will not happen. Third, keep adapting. You did the CA once and things will keep changing. Some people met me and said just now that the Dubai tax regulations just changed, corporate taxes came, etc. And they have to read books now to figure out how to do this. It's just the way things are. Tomorrow, AI may do great accounting. Then what are you going to do? I don't know. There will be something you can do. Somebody is going to be controlling that. Somebody is going to be on top of that technology. Right? Same way as internet. Nobody could have dreamt that we can order food from any restaurant. It will come in 20 minutes. It doesn't mean that restaurants closed down. But some people really profited from that. And some people got left behind. So you have to keep adapting. The fourth is to never settle. It's an Indian thing. This word settle. Well settled. Everybody wants well settled boy to marry, right? In Indian ads you can see. They are looking for a well settled boy. Match for their daughter, whatever. Everybody wants settled. And then it's the same silk sheets grape syndrome that you come to your age. I see many of you mid-30s, 40s, right? Correct? So you're like, okay, now I've done it. I studied, I challenged myself. I took the CA exam 5 times, 7 times, whatever. I made it. I'm in Kuwait. I earn good money. I have a comfortable home. I have a good car, everything. Now I'm settled. And that's where the problems begin. Because the happiness is not coming from the money. The happiness is coming from the purpose you had because of which you got the money. You see the difference? You did something that allowed you to earn that money. That something is the happiness. That something is what is valuable, not the money that has accumulated because of that. If you think that now I have this and now I don't need to, and what was that? You challenged yourself, you pushed, you tried to grow. That growth is what gave you the joy, not the money. Think about it. You take away the growth, it won't give you. I remove your entire career journey, give you the same amount of money without that journey with a lottery ticket. Will you have the same happiness? No. It's the journey. And now you say, I'm going to settle. I'm just going to settle because I'm in my mid-30s, I'm in my 40s. Now my kids, it's all about my kids now. Stop it. Really. Kids don't even care about you as much as you do. It's a fact. Let's face it. I have 2 boys. Dad, shut the door. And I'm thinking, it's all about them and I should give up this, I should give up that because I need to be there for them. And they don't care. And right now they don't even have girlfriends. The day the girlfriend comes, I don't like your parents. Yeah, you're right. That's going to happen. Who are you fooling? You're going to ignore yourself for your kids? You love them. I love them. We all love our kids the most in the world. But at the cost of what? Your own self? You don't have to love them that much. They will only tell you, who told you to do so much for me? Did I tell you? And now you are stuck. Never make that mistake. You are your own person. You reached here till this point because you kept challenging, you kept growing, and you will never forget that. You had these wonderful kids along the way. You had these wonderful friends along the way, relatives, this, that, and you take everybody along. I'm not saying you abandon anything, but don't go crazy. Indians go crazy about kids. And I am giving you permission to please look after yourself. My sons, I have twin boys, 20-year-old, they're in college in the US. They can party till 3 in the morning and go to class at 7 in the morning. And they are so young that they'll be okay. If I party till 3 in the morning, I'm gone for 1 week. I'm aching. I'm like, dude, what did I do? Who needs more care? Me or them? And who am I? What do we do? Kids. Not okay, right? The last one, die once. Believe it or not, everybody here is going to die, right? I know there are some technologies being created, but nature will figure out a way to kill you, one way or the other. We are meant to live. That's just the way it is, and it's okay. We are meant to leave. New people have to come. Fine. We have our journey. It's okay. But die once. Die that day. Every time you give up your desires, every time you give up your goals, every time you give up something you really wanted in life, a little bit of you dies. While you are alive, you are killing yourself, parts of yourself. Don't do that. We'll die once. We will all die. And that day we are dead. But till the days you are dead, you're not dead. You're alive. So why do you want to kill parts of yourself before it's time? These 3 legs, very simple, of a happy life. I want you to imagine your life as a report card in school. You had a report card in school. Imagine there are 3 subjects: career, health, and relationships. And you get a score out of 10. Don't tell me, but in your head, be super honest, give yourself a score. Career, 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, give yourself that score. Health, give yourself a score, 5 out of 10, 9 out of 10, whatever you want. And relationships, everything, friends, family, spouse, children, everything, out of 10. Give yourself the score. Now these are the 3 legs of the table. Okay? Now supposing you gave yourself 8 out of 10 in career. Supposing. but in health you gave 5. And now most of the day you are spending to make that 8 or 9. Even if you make that 8 or 9, but the health stays at 5, you are not going to get more happy. It's not going to happen. You know, the only way to increase happiness then is to improve that 5. You are going in the wrong direction. You're taking the car to the wrong road. And then you're saying, why I'm not feeling it, yaar? I have every good career. Why I'm not feeling so happy? Because you need all 3. You need social connections. You need friends. You need relatives. You also need a career. You also need your health. Now, it's better to be a 7.5 in all 3 than like 10 in one and 2 in the other. Because you're going to be miserable. You cannot have a 3-legged table with like one very short leg and one perfect leg. It doesn't work like that. That's the secret to life, whether you like it or not. Money is very big. We are all in the finance business here. I was. And I like money, of course. But it's not the money and it's not the things the money buys. It's not the nice house the money buys. It's the get-togethers you get to do in the nice house. That's where the joy is. It's not the vacation and the nice hotel that is the joy. The joy is you spend time with your family there and you have the memories of that. Money can buy happiness, 100%. But if it is used as a tool, not the money itself is not the happiness, or the product, the material products of money is not the happiness, but the tools are the happiness. The tools that money allows you to buy. And the tools are used to buy health. If you use the money to get a good gym membership and you actually go, not just buy the membership, or you use the money to spend time with your family and good vacations and things like that, that's where money is really, really buying happiness for you. But a lot of us, career. You know, and I did this. I am guilty of this. I was lucky. My book started doing really well. And I said, you know what? This is my chance. I'm going to just, those of you who remember when I came maybe, 2010 or 14 years ago, I was 36. I was full of myself. I probably would be telling you about my movies and my books and this and that. I've not even said anything on the work I've done or like whatever. Because it's not about that anymore for me. I realized that it had a cost. There is a cost. And that cost is not easy to quantify. If you're very rich but in very poor health, how is that a good thing? Right? So, and that is what was happening to me. Getting famous, and I was like, let's get more famous. Let's get even more famous. Let's see how famous a writer can get. Because in India, writers don't get that famous. And I was like, I'm going to push the limit. And I did. But I'm honest enough to admit, it came at a cost. Cost of my health, cost of my relationships. So last few years, I said, you know what, this is not going to work. I have to change. I have to balance this out. And that's where my focus is. I'm still doing some career, but I'm paying a lot of attention to my health. And I'm trying to build relationships, trying to connect back with my old college friends, trying to host them, trying to go there for their functions. Things I had never done. Because I felt, they don't understand. I'm this famous writer. I have to build my brand. I have to keep going. I don't have time for all this get-togethers. But it was not making me happy. As simple as that. So you need to think about that too. What is your balance? This is me 15 years ago. This is me recently. This is a totally different person. This guy is much older than the guy on the left. And this is what difference health can make to you. And I'm not showing this to you because I'm some athlete or anything. I'm just showing this to you that you can start at any age. Don't just think this is a game you had to learn in your 20s and now if you lost it, it's not. No. You can start running at 46 like I did. You know, it's okay. You can start lifting weights at 48, which I did. I never lifted weights all my life. Now I do. It's okay to learn new things. You know, never kept in touch with my college friends, IIT friends. Now I do. Now I make WhatsApp groups and I contact them and things like that. It's never too late as long as you have the humility to start. It's a totally different person, not just physically. Mentally, I can't show you in the picture. But, you know, another one. The older guy looks younger than the younger guy. And happier. More than anything, it's the happier. The eyes don't lie. I'm smiling in both pictures, but the guy on the left is not smiling from the eyes. And that's the difference. So, I urge you to go back and look at your life. To see that you've done a few things right, no doubt, but you've not done a few things right. It has come at a cost. And then you ask yourself, what is it you really want to do? You know, sometimes in life, it's not just about what you want to do, but you ought to do. You owe it to yourself, to your family, to be the happiest person, to be the most fulfilled person you can be. And don't think it's too late. In fact, it's the perfect age. Now is the age where the responsibility starts getting less and you can regain focus on yourself. So those are some of the thoughts I want to leave you with. Thank you so much for having me.